Good morning, everyone. I hope your week has been awesome so far. This morning's Devo, we're going to be talking about anger. I hope you guys at home have been dealing with anger well. You guys have been managing it well, that all of you guys have been enjoying your time with your family, that you've been getting to be stuck with them, but it's all been good. But regardless, I know that there's some things that we got to hear about and we got to address. And so we address an anger this morning, and we're going to read out of Matthew 5, 21 to 26. And Jesus addresses murder, actually, while addressing anger at the same time. Who's been angry before? Angry at a friend? Maybe angry at a family member? Angry at God? This Devo is for you if you have been angry at any given point in your life at somebody else and have chosen to seethe in the deep anger and not remove it. Guess what? These verses are for you. Let's quickly read it. Matthew 5, 21 to 26. You have heard that it was said to those of old, "You shall not murder, and whoever murders will be liable to judgment." But I say to you that everyone who is angry with his brother will be liable to judgment. Whoever insults his brother will be liable to the council, and whoever says, "You fool," will be liable to the hell of fire. So if you are offering your gift at the altar, and there remember that your brother has something against you, leave your gift there before the altar and go. First be reconciled to your brother, and then come and offer your gift. Come to terms quickly with your accuser while you are going with him to court, lest your accuser hand you over to the judge, and the judge to the guard, and then you be put in prison. Truly I say to you, you will never get out until you have paid the last penny. So, don't be angry with your brother, your sister. Totally fair game. No, absolutely not. Don't be angry with each other. That's what we're hearing here. It's an interesting point. Jesus brings up, hey, you know what? Some of you may say, don't murder. But I say, I feel like we've heard that sentence structure before. He says, hey, you know what? You may have heard that it was, thou shalt not murder. However, it is also, do not be angry with each other. But quite often, all right, we just want to be justified in our anger. We feel like it's righteous, that it is good that we are angry at this person, they deserve it. And maybe, there's a degree of that is absolutely true. And but here's the thing, is that God calls us to want, and not only to want, but to reconcile our relationships with other people. Number one, God calls you to be in right relationship with one another. Justifying your anger, I'm going to tell you, can get you stuck in that. Can make you feel like I have a right to be hate-filled and angry at this person. Josh, you don't understand. And it's like, no, I don't understand. But here's the thing, is that God calls you and me, all of us, to push our anger aside and to reconcile the relationship back. You have to sit there and swallow your pride. You have to sit there and swallow your selfishness. You have to sit there and swallow up the fact that they may not apologize back to you. It's painful. And number two, be aware of your anger. What is it that makes you angry? Is it your own selfishness? Maybe you're like, hey, you know what? I'm angry at this person. They deserve it. But really, you're the one that's actually being selfish. You're the one that wants exactly what you want, and everyone else needs to get out of the way. Well, if that's true, be aware of it, because you are in the wrong. Maybe you are taking offense to something that actually wasn't intended for offense. Maybe you have been given trauma by somebody that has done something just awful to you. Maybe you're experiencing an unbelievable amount of pain from a group of people, or from the people like that are closest to you. Maybe you are just at odds with a brother and sister, because monopoly is a deal breaker in the relationship, because monopoly is life. Be aware of your anger, because you need to forgive each other, and being aware of your anger makes you own your part of the problem, your part of this discord and brokenness. And lastly, I want to finish with this. Go into reconciling, not looking to obtain an apology or to get anything out of it. Fixing the relationship, making it whole if you didn't know what reconciling it was, bringing it back to right standing. Go into that, making right standing in your relationships, not to obtain anything, not to obtain an apology. Luke 6:35. Let me read that quickly, because I feel like you may think, oh, Josh, no, I deserve an apology. You better believe that the Word of God says nothing about that. Well, but love your enemies and do good and lend, expecting nothing in return, and your reward will be great. Go into reconciling expecting absolutely nothing in return. Do it. Forgive. Get rid of your anger. Reconcile your relationships back. If you're at odds with a family member this week, don't put up with that. You guys don't need to be at odds and stuck in the same house together. But what that means is you're going to need to go push your selfishness aside, your pride aside, own your problem to the issue. Fortunately, don't expect an apology in return. Just go in, apologize for what you need to, and make the relationship come back to do it, because God says so. He knows what's best. He knows that you love these people and you don't want to be at odds with them. Why do you need to be at odds with everyone around you? You don't. All it does is it seeps in anger and anxiety and frustration and depression, because it puts you to be alone by yourself, and you don't have to be. Reconcile some relationships, bring them back to right standing together. If you guys want to read more into this, I recommend going into Luke, reading Luke 6:27-42. But to finish up today, I have some announcements. Tonight there is youth. Tonight there is youth at 7, no less. Make sure that you check out, I'm going to be posting our go-to meeting numbers so you can get into the meeting. There is youth this Friday. We have our first Friday events happening this week. So make sure you check out the information for that. We are going to be playing some games together online, some fun ones that we found. So I'm excited for that. Also, we have just created a youth Discord server where we can all get together and chat and hang out and go through our groups together, and I think it's going to be awesome. So I'm going to be unveiling that this week. And then also tomorrow, I'm going to be unveiling some youth logos. So watch out for that. I'm going to let you guys see all the logos we have, and then you guys can vote on your top 3, and we will see where we land on the youth logo. But we will see you guys later.